Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to rant again about this whole Vitali situation. Um, because one minute the government is screaming on national TV about justice, respect, and protecting Filipino culture. Then the next minute, the same person they promised would rot in jail for 20 years is suddenly free. So deportation, goodbye, case closed. I'm talking about Vitali. Yeah, he's out. He's released. And I want to be very clear before we even continue because this video is not for defending Vidali. What he did was stupid, disrespectful, provocative. He deserved to be punished. But the way the Philippine government handled this, it's just, I don't know, it's annoying. Because once again, what we're seeing here is selective outrage, performative justice, and a system that only knows how to flex its power on the wrong target. Okay, let's rewind a little bit for those of you who doesn't know what happened and who's this Vitali. Vitali is a Russian American streamer. He's a Russian streamer. Maybe he's an immigrant in America, something like that. So he came to the Philippines and did what he's been doing for years: provocative content, crossing boundaries, disrespecting people in public, harassing locals for views. He asked even his followers to put a bad review online to a business in Boracay just because they asked him to wear a helmet in for some water activity. The guy clearly has a problem. Yeah, he went crazy just because the owner of the water activity is asking him to wear a helmet for safety. So the backlash was massive. Filipinos were angry and rightfully so. Authorities jumped on it so fast after it went viral. They arrested him, they made press conferences, even the president had a speech, headlines everywhere. Suddenly, the message was, this is what happens when you disrespect Filipino culture, when you disrespect Filipinos. Some officials were even floating 20 years in prison. Oh, he will rot in jail. He's gonna learn his lesson, blah, blah, blah. 20 years is a lot. They made it sound like the Philippines was finally standing up for its people and protecting its people. So, people were like so proud. People applauded. National pride kicked in. Finally, they said. But fast forward a few months, he served time, he apologized actually. And then he said the right words. He said he realized his mistake and he's not going to do that again. He showed remorse, fake remorse probably. And now he's out, deported, free to move on with his life again. And the same government that made a whole show out of punishing him, what happened? What happened? Why did you forgive him so fast? He disrespected you, he disrespected us, right? Who the show? I mean, again, let me repeat this so no one is going to twist my words. Vitali was wrong. He deserved punishment. But what bothers me is how eager the Philippines was to act on this compared to how slow, how silent and forgiving it is when the problem is inside the system, is within the Philippines, the government. Because let's be honest, this wasn't about justice. This was about a show. This was about optics. This was about showing the world, look, we can punish foreigners too. You shouldn't mess up with Filipino. Meanwhile, the corrupt politicians with mountains of evidence are still free. Contractors who stole billions still walking around. Officials who destroyed communities, environment, and livelihood still in power. No arrest, no jail time, no, big press conferences about it. The Philippines loves to overact to petty, symbolic offenses, but becomes suddenly blind and deaf when it comes to real crimes. This is what enraged me on this. Disrespecting culture? Well, immediate response. Stealing public funds? Under investigation. And later on, forgotten. Destroying forests? pending review, and later on forgotten, killing thousands of what they like to call drug addicts and drug pushers. And they killed more innocent people, families, babies, women, kids, even foreigners. And they are using this as an excuse. Oh, they're drug pushers, they're drug users. What justice did we get from that? Nothing. Crickets. If not for the ICC, people won't taste a little bit of justice. And this is what really pisses people off, especially those of us who want real accountability from corrupt officials. Why can't they act this fast when it actually matters? Why can't they respond with the same urgency they showed in arresting this psycho streamer? Because that is what affects our lives the most, not petty offenders, not viral distractions. Some people say, well, it's good they acted quickly so other foreigners won't copy him. Okay, fine, fine. But what about corrupt politicians? They just get a free pass? They can copy each other because they know nothing will happen to them. They can buy a luxury house in Europe using tax money to get citizenship, and they can disappear when things crumble for them. Wow. Let's put our attention to things that are so petty. So Vitali apologized and the system folded almost instantly. How naive are you? Too naive. Or maybe someone paid them again, for the release. I remember our ex-president, Joseph Estrada. He was convicted, not accused, not alleged, convicted of plunder, found guilty, sentenced. And what happened after that? He got pardoned, then he ran for office again, and he became mayor of Manila. The people voted for him again. Think about that for a second. In many countries, a corruption conviction ends your political life. Like in China, they execute um, high people who commits high profile corruption. And yeah, people voted for him again. Filipinos are also too forgiving, the too literal. We forgive people who steal from us. We forgive people who abuse power. We forgive people who embarrass the country. I don't know, it's just forgiving or nice or we're just gullible. All it does is teach the next corrupt official one lesson. You'll get away with it, say sorry, lay low, come back. There's another pattern here that we need to talk about as well. In the Philippines, apologize are often treated as currency. Say sorry, show a little humility, cry on camera if needed, and suddenly accountability becomes negotiable. Meanwhile, look at Johnny Somali in South Korea. Same type of nuisance, same kind of content, same disrespect. But Korea didn't care about apologies. They cared about law and consequences. He's restricted from leaving the country. He's facing real penalties. No theatrics, no moral grandstanding, just enforcement. And before anyone says again, well, at least the government is finally doing something, let me show you how selective that something really is. Just recently, the Bureau of Immigration arrested another foreign blogger, an Estonian content creator, and after complaints that he harassed Filipinos, filmed without their consent, and created offensive content during his stay. I want to be clear here. I've seen enough of this kind of content to say this. It's disgusting. Foreigners coming here treating Filipinos like props, like we're monkeys in the zoo. But he really did say that, like, oh, we're monkeys. Like we act like monkeys or we make monkey noises. Like background characters, like something to poke at for clicks. It makes us look weak. It makes us look like we can be bullied by outsiders, not just our own people, also, but outsiders. And yes, that kind of content deserves to be called out. No argument there. And listen to what the commissioner said, the immigration commissioner said. He said, we welcome tourists and legitimate creators, but anyone who exploits our people for views, Colleagues or profit will face arrest, deportation, and blacklisting. I mean, okay, how about you blacklist those who have track record of corruption so they can not run anymore and fool gullible Filipinos? They also exploit us. They also disrespect us. They take profit of us as well. He also said something like, if you come here to provoke, insult, or humiliate Filipinos, your stay will be short and your exit will be permanent. How about making them, how about making these corrupt politicians exit the politics and enter the jail? How about that? Because we prefer that. Then maybe we can be more respected by foreigners too. You're a bunch of clowns. You see the pattern here? When their national pride is hurt, is bruised, when something goes viral, when the embarrassment is public, the government suddenly moves at shoo lightning speed. How about you, Philippine government, respect us Filipinos first? How about doing that first? Where is the urgency when politicians steal billions? When evidence is already there? When Filipinos are disrespected not for content, but through corruption, poverty, and abuse of power? Where is your urgency? Because let's be honest, a corrupt official stealing public funds doesn't just disrespect Filipinos. They rob us, they destroy lives, they steal futures. That is far deeper humiliation than any offensive vlog. And yet, those cases drag on curve. 10 years, 20 years, a lot of years. Investigations ongoing, due process, my ass. Committees formed, hearings postponed, loopholes magically appear. So yes, I'm disgusted by foreign creators who come here and treat Philippines like we're some kind of zoo exhibit, like zoo animals. That content is really insulting. But I'm even more disgusted by the hypocrisy of our government. Because the people who disrespect Filipinos the most aren't YouTubers. It's our own people who are supposed to serve us, who are supposed to make everything better for us. They're the ones in office who still with impunity and face none of this speed, none of this urgency, none of this outrage. If a government can move this fast when its pride is hurt, it can move this fast when Filipinos are being robbed. It should be like that. Here's my honest take after all that ranting. The Philippines doesn't struggle with enforcing laws. It struggles with who it chooses to enforce them on. The government loves cases where the offender is visible, the outrage is loud, and the offender has no political protection, and punishment looks dramatic. Filipinos love drama. Oh, they just love drama. Italy checked all those boxes, and the other Estonian blogger as well. But crocodiles in government, that's a different story. Because real accountability would require arresting people with power, challenging dynasties, exposing networks, risking backlash from within. That's harder, right? That's dangerous. That requires courage. So instead, they go for the easy win. Some people might say, why do you even care? He's gone now. No, that's not the point. I mean, this matters because it shows how the system actually works. You see the pattern and the hypocrisy there. If you're a foreigner living here, you're safe only as long as you're useful or quiet. If you're Filipino, you already know this system doesn't protect you. This is not about Vitali, okay? This is about a government that wants respect but doesn't give it, demands discipline but practices hypocrisy, preaches morality while protecting TOs. Really enraged me. It's so frustrating. I feel the fire inside. They kept saying he disrespected Filipino culture. He disrespected Filipinos. Okay, but how about you respecting us Filipinos? What about respecting workers stuck in corruption? Farmers drowned by flood, causes caused by illegal development, families robbed by scams and inaction. Citizens trapped in broken systems. When Vitali got arrested or when this Estonian blogger got arrested, it doesn't prove the Philippines is strong. It proves the system is reactive, emotional, dramatic, and inconsistent. And this is why so many Filipinos feel frustrated. I'm one of them. Not because a foreigner disrespected us, but because the government disrespects us every single day. And I would slap them if I can. If the Filipino wants real respect, it has to start respecting its own people first. Well, how about we start from there? Not just when it's viral, not just when it's convenient, not just when it's a foreigner. And Filipinos, can we do better? Our outrage is at the wrong things. They're just distracting us, so we need to focus on the things that matters, that affects our life, and that is to focus our attention to these crocodiles. And guys, if you have Filipino family, Filipino friends, I don't know, make them understand very politely. I'll see you guys in the next one.